This video presents an extremely thrilling and emotional story in which Mr. Jack locks a police officer and a former criminal inside a high-security prison for 100 days. The condition is simple, but brutal. If both individuals manage to survive all 100 days together, they will win $500,000. But if even one of them gives up, neither of them gets anything. From the very first day, the darkness of the prison, iron bars, sealed doors, and constant surveillance become a form of mental torture for both men. One is a person who has spent his entire life enforcing the law, while the other is someone who once broke it. Their mindsets, habits, and pasts collide, creating intense tension and conflict. As the days pass, the harsh routine, tasteless food, locked doors, and overwhelming silence begin to test their patience. Mr. Jack tempts them, offering better food, fresh air, or permission to exhaust, but every comfort comes at the cost of reducing the prize money. Arguments break out, anger rises, and more than once, the thought of giving up crosses their minds. After several weeks, the situation begins to change. In the silence of the night, they start talking to each other about their mistakes, pain, families, and unfinished dreams. Slowly, hatred turns into understanding. They begin to encourage one another, work out together, and start counting the days. One day, exhausted by the harsh and boring prison environment, both prisoners decide that they must create some humor, or their minds will explode. The former criminal wraps a towel around his head and pretends to be the prison doctor, while the police officer turns an empty plastic cup into a microphone and starts making announcements. Attention, please. Today's patient is suffering from a severe case of prison boredom. They both burst into uncontrollable laughter. Then the police officer begins a fake interrogation, asking in a serious voice, "Tell the truth. Who stole the biscuit?" The former criminal immediately replies, "Sir, not me. This crime was committed by the prison rat." For a few moments, they forget the prison bars, the cameras, and the captivity. The echo of laughter turns into a light of hope inside the dark cell, and they realize that in the hardest conditions, even a smile can be a weapon for survival. One night, an emergency alarm suddenly blares inside the prison. Red lights begin flashing, heavy doors slam shut, and fear spreads through the air. Suddenly, the former criminal collapses to the ground. His breathing becomes rapid, and his face turns pale. The police officer panics. This is no longer a game. It has become reality. The cameras are rolling, but the door does not open. Mr. Jack makes an announcement. The police officer can leave the prison right now and take the prize money, but only if he leaves his partner behind. This becomes the most terrifying and decisive moment of all. The police officer is trapped between his oath, his humanity, and his greed. He grabs the former criminal's hand, supports him, and screams for help, fully aware that if he walks out, everything will be over. Moments later, it is revealed that this too was one of the harshest psychological tests, but those few minutes shook both of them to their core. After this incident, their bond is no longer just that of partners. It transforms into a bond of life and death. In the final days, the mental pressure reaches its absolute breaking point. Mr. Jack presents the last and cruelest testimony in exchange for betrayal. One person can walk out with freedom and the full prize, but the other will lose everything. A heavy silence fills the prison. Every breath feels louder. Trust, loyalty, and survival collide in a single moment. The choice becomes more painful than the prison itself. This is no longer about money. It is about who they choose to be. This is the 99th day for both of them. Only one day remains. After surviving everything, the fear, the pressure, the temptations. This single remaining day feels heavier than all the previous 99 combined. One more sunrise stands between freedom and failure. One more night between loyalty and betrayal. In the end, both of them refuse to betray each other. When the final temptation is placed in front of them, they choose loyalty over money. Together, they complete all 100 days inside the prison, and together, they walk out. As the prison doors open, it becomes clear that the real victory was never the prize money. More than winning the reward, they prove something far greater. Humanity, trust, and brotherhood can survive even inside the harshest prison. Where fear once ruled, dignity remains. Where hatred began, respect and unity stand. They enter the prison as enemies, but leave it as brothers. Seeing both of them struggle and survive the entire ordeal, Mr. Jack gives each of them $500,000. Their perseverance, teamwork, and resilience are rewarded equally, proof that loyalty and courage triumph over temptation.
What you just saw was only the beginning. Subscribe the next moment, it's even more shocking.